China's consumer and wholesale prices continued to drop in May. The National Bureau of Statistics says the consumer price index for May was down 1.4% year-on-year, and that marks the fourth consecutive month of deflation. The NBS says in May alone, consumer prices fell 0.3%, not seasonally adjusted. And the producer price index for the month, a measure of the inflation at the wholesale level, decreased 7.2%, and the rate of decline has sped up from 6.6% in April. In the first 5 months of the year, producer prices were down 5.5%. Economists are largely relaxed about the fall in prices, and they view it as a statistical correction of the surge in food and some industrial commodity prices in early 2008, rather than economic contraction. And the statistics agency also said an oversupply of goods in China could prevent a quick rebound of producer prices.
Well, for more insight into the key figures, we have Professor Huo Zheming from Peking University on the line. Thanks for joining us, Professor Huo. Both the CPI and the PPI dropped in May. Now, is this in line with your expectations?
I think my expectation for May is that the CPI and PPI should do worse than what we've seen in April. I think in terms of a year-to-year rate, it did. So I think the CPI and PPI's both negative numbers are really a hesitation sign, in a sense that we are not sure whether the economy is recovering in a healthy way. At least to me, that before the growth rate, the statistic came out, it's hard to tell. So I guess the best conclusion now is that in terms of growth, we still need a little bit push. But in terms of price, I think the deflation is there.
But many analysts say there is a risk of inflation in the near future. Why is that?
Okay, now, we're not worrying about the inflation. Now, obviously, there will be no inflation for at least next 12 months. But we're worrying about the inflation expectation, which is what we have seen the merchandise, international merchandise, especially big-ticket items merchandise. The inflation there is very high. Of course, that would have to be translated into domestic CPI. So we're talking about inflation expectation. But actual inflation for next 12 months, I don't think that will be a necessary concern. So don't worry about inflation. We should be worrying about inflation expectation.
Okay, we've got it. Now, do you think the government will adjust the policies accordingly?
Yes, I think there is a pretty significant probability that the government will do something. I think in terms of growth, the government is really concerned, and also the employment, plus college graduates and immigrant workers, migrant workers. Government really worrying about a possibility of a large decrease in the employment. So, yes, the government will do something in terms of policies.
Okay, we'll have to leave it there, but many thanks for joining us. That was Professor Huo, Professor of Economics at Peking University. Well, the government is taking steps, in fact, to make its CPI calculating procedures more transparent. The National Bureau of Statistics invited journalists to see just how it's done. Feng Ling reports.
Zhao Lijun is a data collector at the Statistics Bureau. Every Friday and Sunday morning at 8 o'clock, she's on the job, tracking over 700 commodities in the marketplace.
Usually confirms the price with 3 buyers in order to make sure the price is real.
To ensure the accuracy of the data, the Statistics Bureau sends out inspectors to do spot checks to compare with the recorded price.
If the figures don't match, we will investigate the collector. We usually won't use them again.
The figures are entered into the survey system and submitted level by level up to the National Bureau of Statistics. The Bureau will process nearly 800 megabytes of data from the 31 provinces, municipalities, and autonomous regions.
After processing these figures, our staff will continue to audit the result and do some random sample checks before the final result comes out.
The final CPI figure is based on figures from 50,000 service stations across the country. Federal officials say they will add 10,000 locations for greater accuracy. Feng Ling, CCTV.